To share a little bit about my life before coaching, I had just gotten out of critical care fellowship. I was an entrepreneur starting my first business. I had a young child and I was lost. I needed someone in that really intense time to speak with. I didn't know that's what I needed. I initially reached out to Charles for, other services, but when I met him and we had our first few meetings, something was different than any kind of therapy or any kind of, other mentor or person you would speak with. We had a really good relationship and we really evaluated my life and the things going on in my life in ways that I had never evaluated before. I think that was about 4 years ago. So we've been doing coaching for 4 years now and it's been tremendous. I've become a better dad. I think I'm more present both at work and with my children. I'm able to, for an hour every week or so, come speak, have an objective person listen to you and bring up things that sometimes you don't notice. And so, but to answer the question, I was in externally, I'm sure things looked fine. Somebody would say, oh, that's somebody that is able to get a lot done. But internally, I need a lot of work. So yeah, I'm used to handling pressure. I'm a critical care physician. It was the middle of the COVID pandemic. I'm someone that thrives and sometimes seeks out pressure. I believe pressure is a privilege. But what was different is just this sheer amount of the pressure and how I didn't have, I guess I was, an outlet or a person to think about these things from a different lens. And I had heard great things about Charles from before, from other people that I trust. And so I went to the website, filled something out, spoke with Charles. He was able to, he called me immediately. He was able to pinpoint the feelings that I had kind of not been able to say, and then we spoke and, it just went from there. Now it's been 4 or 5 years and it's been a tremendous partnership. So what surprised me the most about working with Charles is how much it's helped. Number one, I'm a better dad and a better husband, which is my number one priority. And the reason is because we make that a priority. And if it's not a priority, Charles is very good at listening to everything that's going on and helping bring you back to reality and in a good way. I think that's number one, is that I'm a better dad. I think I'm a better physician and entrepreneur as well, because of kind of our work together and how I'm able to approach a lot of different aspects of life. It has been a sheer net positive. I could not recommend Charles more. If you're looking for coaching, especially if you're, a lot of people Charles works with have really high pressure jobs and high pressure situations and are used to achieving. Charles has a way of working with you to continue to dream and achieve, but also to ground you and make it so that your life is better and the lives around the people that you're working with are better. I'm more present with my children, with my family. I'm more present at work. I have a clear sense of who I am and what I want to achieve. And I have a clear sense of what I'm not. And I think that's important too, is like knowing what you're not and being okay with that. I'm more present, I'm sharper, I have a better idea of what I want to achieve, how I can achieve it, and also things that, may not be worth achieving, right? And, in the end, if you want to achieve something, you need to make sure it's something worth achieving. And I think one thing Charles has said is, be careful. A lot of people can get what they want, but be careful who you become to get what you want. I would say maybe you can, but it certainly helps to have somebody else that is there with you, that knows you, that you can develop a relationship with, but isn't throttling you back. In fact, is encouraging you to move forward and move your life forward, but to be really thoughtful about your life. And so I would say maybe you can, but give it a try. Like if you're stuck in a rut or you are just so stressed or wherever you are, why not try it? I think anybody would benefit from this. Everybody needs someone that they can, talk to, that understands them, knows their wants, their wishes, their family life, and someone that can objectively listen and give advice or just sometimes just listen. So I think this is for everybody. If I had to recommend it to a certain group of people, I would say if you're really stressed, you're working all the time, you feel overwhelmed all the time, you feel like you're not doing anything to the ability that you can, that would be a perfect client. In the end, I think there's a good Atul Gawande article about coaching and how, in medicine, you do all, you do your residency and you do med school, residency, fellowship, and you're practicing. And then all of a sudden, you practice and you don't have a coach, right? Or you don't have somebody also helping you. And there's an article about how you can benefit from a coach your whole life.